The behemoth known as the Americans were on the way, and the German Empire needed a strategy, needed an offensive to break the Allies before the Americans arrived, something that would see the war won in their favour. And Erich von Ludendorff, German commander, had just a trick. It was called the Kaiserchlacht. Now, the Kaiserschlacht was the German spring offensive, and since they no longer had to worry about the second front, that being the Eastern Front, after Russia's capitulation, they could move all their troops and resources over to the Western Front. Now, Erich von Ludendorff thought of using the newly innovated German Sturmtroopen, or stormtroopers, to storm trenches with Allied fire behind them. These German Sturmtroopen were armed with MP-18 submachine guns, newly innovated, but the execution flawless. The troop tactics outstanding. There was just one problem. There was no clear goal. Obviously, the attacks rang across the Allied line, and they even got to within 50 miles of Paris. But during the beginning of the offensive, there was no one objective, like at Verdun or at the Somme. So the British and French all moved troops from minor locations back to more important locations than they needed defending, which are what the Germans captured. But during the middle to the end of the offensive, they finally saw their goal, and that was Amiens. The railway station at Amiens was a vital bloodline. If they could capture that, they could have pushed the British and the French out of the war, and the Americans without them even touching a foot of French soil. Obviously, the Kaiserschlacht brought the end of trench warfare on the Western Front for good riddance. Thank you. But this was the last attempt, the last shot of breaking the Allies before the Americans arrived. Because when the Americans arrived, there was hell to pay. Obviously, the offensive didn't work as planned. All the land gained during the offensive was then lost back to the Allies. And, well, the Germans have just got to sit and wait. So, that is the Kaiserschlacht, or the German Spring Offensive. Let me know what you think about Germany's last-ditch attempt to try and break the Allies. And I will see you next time for another history video.